What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Big Man on Campus podcast. Today we're doing a getting back to the England soccer preview, the weekend preview for the Premier League, Championship, League One, and League Two. I'll give you my picks and previews here as we head into another weekend of English football. We are back from the international break, and basketball is slowing down, so we're back to the previews. Really, over the years, have done really well with these. Back when we were at SBR, we used to do the Football League show, used to do real good things there. So we're back. We'll have this show back going forward until the end of the season, which we have about over a month to the season end. So we will get into all of it here. What we're going to do basically is go through the Premier League. I'll give you some of my favorite tips there. Then we'll go to the Championship, League One, and League Two. League One and League Two are obviously where the butter is added to the bread. That's when you make your real money. But we'll get into it. We'll start out with the Premier League. As always, make sure you like and comment on the chat box if you're in here. And if you're new around here, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. Very much appreciate that. We'll start out with the Premier League. First play that I'd recommend, I'm going to go with a draw right out of the gate. I'm going to go draw in Brighton and Southampton. Battle of the southern coast here. Obviously, Brighton and Southampton in the southern end of England. They're battling it out here in this little derby, as they call it. I just don't see a ton of separation between these two. Both these teams are right near the drop zone. They're both safe at this point. And look, a win would go a long way. I just think both these teams will be fine with 1 point. Neither team is very goal-driven or goal-oriented. None really go forward at a high level. They're only averaging about a goal a game of these two groups. I could gladly and surely see a 1-1 here. I just don't think we see a ton of action in this game. I couldn't split this one, so I'm going to go right down the middle. Draw price only at 220, which is generally very low for draw prices. You look at really all the other prices throughout the card. I mean, 340, 290, 375, very low draw price. That generally means that, look, you can't really split both sides. We'll go right down the middle. We'll take a shot with the draw here in Brighton, Southampton. That's going to be one of my picks. The other pick I'm going to go with in the Premier League is Wolverhampton Wanderers on the road at Burnley. I'm going to take Wolves at 145. So a nice little get back there on the plus 145. Wolves, look, I when I started my preview this year, I kind of had the thought that Wolves would be in the top 8, and there they are in 7th. Again, they're not going to jump up to 6th or anything, but I think a very fine season for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Really have done some great things. Really have kind of just been kind of treading water lately, but got a nice win in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup the other night. Drew with Chelsea last week, playing some decent football. Good defensive team. The only concern I have for Wolves is they generally seem to play down to their competition, but this Burnley group right now, look, for all intents and purposes, continue to struggle. I mean, they're right near the drop zone. For this group this year, the issue's been keeping goals out. Over the last few years, they've been very good defensively, but not so much this year. I mean, you look at lately, they're not playing well at all. 4 straight losses. They've given up 2 or more goals in all 4 of those games. They're just really struggling right now defensively. You give up 4 to Liverpool on the 10th. Gave up 2 last week to Leicester City. And if we remember, Leicester City was down to 10 men 4 minutes in. So, I mean, they still were able to score 2 goals in the rain at Turf Moor. So, again, the issues run deep for Burnley. I mean, they can't score goals. And right now, defensively, they're a real mess. I mean, you look at that game against Leicester. I mean, they had 63% possession, Burnley. And Leicester were still able to find 2 goals with 10 men. Just really ugly stuff. 6 goals conceded over the last 2. Just not good. Give me Wolves. I'll take a shot with Wolverhampton Wanderers as they continue to play very well this season. I like 2 plays. Wolves at plus 145 against Burnley. And I'll go Brighton Southampton draw at plus 220. I'm not a big draw guy, but I do like this one. I think both these teams even it out. Either way, if Wolves get the job done, it will be profitable in the Premier League. Other than that, don't really love much there. And I considered Leicester, but the price just wasn't good enough. I'm not laying 120 with Leicester. I think they beat Bournemouth. I like the way they played with Brendan Rodgers, the new manager, but I'm not goading myself into laying 120 here. Look, if this was plus 115, I'd be interested, but I'm not really trying to lay money with Leicester. So I'll stay away from that one. Man United against Watford. Again, too high of a price. So yeah, for me, I'm just going to go with two this week in the Premier League. Wolves to beat Burnley, and then Brighton to draw with Southampton at plus 220. So I hit both. I'm getting paid. Let's move on to the Championship. Two I like in the Championship this week. One of them is going to be Leeds United -1. I'm going to go Leeds United -1 against Millwall. Leeds is obviously one of the best teams in the Championship. They're fighting for a spot at the head table, sitting right now in third. They can jump Sheffield United with a win here, and obviously a Sheffield loss. Still some games to go here. Look, Leeds have been terrific. All year they've been good in front of goal. Millwall has just been, over the years, ragged on the road. I mean, they're really poor, Millwall. They've lost 12 of 19 on the road. And so it's really been the issue for Millwall over the years. When they're at home, they're pretty solid and tough to break down. But on the road, Millwall just really hasn't had much in the way of success. Leeds United right now are flying. I know they're off the loss to Sheffield, the one that they really should and needed to have. But, again, playing pretty well other than that. You look at really that game before Sheffield United, they had won 3 in a row. They had scored 8 goals in the process. I think they're, for the most part, I think they're pretty solid right now. Again, tough loss to Sheffield, but you had a little bit of a 2-week break here. You get back at it. I think they beat Millwall going away. I'll say at worst it's 2-0. I think they win 3-1, something like that. I'll lay the 1 goal with Leeds United. If they win by 1, we get a push. But I think this is definitely a margin play here. I will say if you have, you like a parlay or something, I would not have any issue with Leeds and someone else. Maybe throw in Leeds and Sheffield United maybe. But the other play for me is going to be Preston North End against Reading. Look, Reading stinks. It's just that simple. And Preston North End are playing some pretty good football right now. They're hanging on by a thread to maybe get into the playoff here, sitting up at 7th. They really have to have this game. Really no excuse. Look, Reading is a bad side. They have trouble scoring goals. Haven't really done anything good in a long time. You look at their wins this year. I mean, a lot of the time it's just against the bottom sides of the table. Ipswich, Wigan Athletic, those kind of sides. Against the better sides, they've struggled. I'll take a shot with Preston North End at plus 135 to beat Reading. So 2 plays in the Championship: Leeds -1 against Millwall, and Preston North End to beat Reading. Preston has had major success on the road this year, so I'll ride the hot hand there with them. Before we get into League One, I will go over some comments here. Premier League punters isn't the same without you. Thank you, NS. That's very nice of you. I miss doing the show there. It was always fun. I miss all the stuff, with Alex from the For Tips and doing the Europa, and then obviously all the other shows. Yeah, it definitely sucks. I mean, that was one of the downsides of leaving SBR, not being able to do the soccer coverage, which I'll definitely miss. But I still try to resurrect it here. And I thank you for your comments. It's very kind of you, Ann. Hope you're doing well. Am I doing an NCA show later? No. Why would I? Guys, listen, we have to start thinking with our heads here. Let me ask you something. Why would I do an NCA show? I did a hour-long show the other night with terrific basketball coverage with Barstool Reeves. Why would I do another show? We have to start thinking here, guys. I hate to be rude, but no, I'm not doing another show. Why would I do another show and redundantly talk about the same stuff? Tomorrow there'll be a show at 10 a.m. and we'll be going over all the Elite Eight matchups. But no, I will not have another show tonight. There's no reason to. It's redundant. How you doing, Mike? Thanks for watching. Russ B. Hail to the victors. All you guys, thanks for checking out the show. Let's go to League One. Luton. I'm going to go with Luton to beat Bristol Rovers. Luton minus 118. Really low price here. I was surprised this price was so low. Luton bearing down on winning League One. You know, I'm interested here. I mean, this price is just too low. Bristol Rovers are not good. They're a bad side. And I don't think they have little to any shot here. I know this is a road game and everything, but I think Luton. I think Luton finds a way. Bristol Rovers, a team that all year have just had trouble scoring, and Luton just really doesn't give much up. I mean, they're a very good defensive side. This one to me is 2-0. The other game I'm going to go with Blackpool against Plymouth Rovers. I'm not sorry, not Plymouth Rovers, Plymouth Argyle. For anyone that's curious and doesn't know, this is a long trip for Plymouth Argyle. Plymouth Argyle down in the southwest of England, down near Devon. This is a long trip up to Blackpool. Blackpool up on the north, on the northwest edge. So basically, Blackpool is up right on the sea, right on the ocean. And that's why they're called the Seasiders. Blackpool, very far north. And this is a tough trip, long trip for Plymouth Argyle. And against a Blackpool team that, look, not going to get a ton of crowd love. I mean, the supporters don't support this side, but again, it's still a long trip. I like the way Blackpool's playing. They're not playing great defensively, but they're a team that's kind of bearing down, and I think they could find a way here to beat Plymouth Argyle. This is a long trip for this group. I like two plays: Blackpool to beat Plymouth and Luton to beat Bristol Rovers. Let's keep it moving here. League Two, we'll finish it up. Two more plays here, and then we'll wrap it up. So I have 8 plays on the card here. Really just going through 2 in each league. League Two, I'm going to go very simply. Lincoln City, -1 against Macclesfield. Look, this one's pretty simple. I don't really have to go into a ton of why I like this play. Macclesfield, one of the worst teams in the league, against one of the best teams in the league in Lincoln. It's that simple. Lincoln at home. They should win this game 3 or 4-0. Sol Campbell's team is just not good. I don't know how else to say it. This is a very simple one. Lincoln will roll, lay the one with confidence. And the other one, I'm going to go with a team that I've had some success with. That's Tranmere. I'm going to go with Tranmere to beat Carlisle Football Club. Tranmere, another tough trip up to the north near Liverpool. Playing great right now. They've won 6 in a row, guys, Tranmere. 6 matches in a row. James Norwood is flying. I watched that game against Grimsby Town a few weeks ago. They were up 1-0, penalty, tied it up, and then Tranmere just threw 3 in a row off. Really great goals at home. They're very good at home. It's been a place for them all year that they've had a lot of success in. I like backing them at home, and this is another good spot to back them at home. 6 in a row, good enough for me. Tranmere, your play against Carlisle, +115 there. So let me go through all the plays again, write these down. In the Premier League, I like Wolves to beat Burnley. I like Brighton and Southampton to draw, +220. Championship, I like Preston North End, +135 against Reading. And then Leeds, -1 at 1.9 against Millwall. In League One, I like Luton Town, -118 to beat Bristol Rovers. And I also like Blackpool at even money to beat Plymouth Argyle. And then in League Two, Lincoln -1 against Macclesfield. And Tranmere, +115 against Carlisle. That's that, guys. Very simple, very short, very sweet. It will hang on for 5 minutes. If you have any questions, I'll gladly answer them here. And if not, we'll wrap it up. Thanks for everyone for watching. I know most people watch the show after the fact. I'm kind of starting to try to build these shows up again. So make sure you support the shows, retweet them, give them to people that you think might like them. Paul Blakesley, welcome in. Thanks for watching. He says he likes Leeds, Lincoln, and Palace. I like those 2. I like 2 obviously up front, but Crystal Palace, yeah, I mean, I guess I'd lean that way. I mean, Huddersfield stink, but I'm not laying over, I don't know. What's that price? I'm not laying that kind of price. Sorry. 225, just too high. But a parlay, not bad. I think a parlay with, Crystal Palace, Lincoln, and Leeds would be terrific. Actually, tell me what, before we go, we'll build a little parlay here. We usually try to do those. All right, so let's agree. We'll agree with Paul Blakesley. We'll throw Crystal Palace in there. We'll throw Man City in there because they're not going to lose to Fulham. We'll go to the championship. We'll throw in Leeds to win. And we will throw in what else do we have? Luton to win. They're going to beat Bristol. So we'll throw Luton in. And then we'll go down to League Two, and we'll throw a couple in there. And I will respond as to the odds and what we're looking at here. So we'll go Lincoln. Lincoln's a lock. They're not losing to Macclesfield. You can. That's my favorite play of the week. They're not losing. We'll throw. What else do we have here? You know what? I like those. Let's just go with those. Crystal Palace, Man City, Leeds, Luton, and Lincoln, all to win. Just a little over 6-1. Fine with that. Hey, thanks, Carlos. I got a string. All right, I'll take care of that. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's very nice of you to let me know. I'm going to have to cut it off. But all right, guys, that will wrap it up. Everyone have a great day. Thanks for checking out the show here. As always, make sure you subscribe, comment if you have any quotes or comments you want to leave. If you're new around here, as I said, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a show. Everyone have a great day. Thanks for watching. Those are my picks for this week in England. Good luck.